Okay, some more problems from section 4.1. This is number 63, and again we want to find a positive angle less than 360 degrees or 2 pi that is coterminal with a given angle. And we did some of these in degrees, but we can keep them in radians, and it might be a little bit easier, so kind of watch how I do this. This is a little bit different than what we did today. All right, this is the same thing as 19 over 6 times pi, and this is a mixed number, so what I can do is I can just, it's an improper fraction, I should say, and I can change it to a mixed number. 6 goes into 19, how many times? It goes in there 3, and 1 left over, so 3 and 1/6 pi. Because I know I've got more than one revolution all the way around, so I want to get rid of that. Okay, so this is 3 and 1/6 pi. So that means I'm going to go all the way around. If I go all the way around the circle, how much is that? Well, that's 2 pi, right? 2 pi radians all the way around the circle. So I'm going to subtract that. I'm going to subtract 2 pi. Well, if I take 3 and 1/6 pi minus 2 pi, I have 1 and 1/6 pi left. All right? So this is going to be the same thing as 1 and 1/6 pi. In other words, I go all the way around the circle, that's 2 pi, and then I go another 1 and 1/6 pi. I'm sorry, see, I go all the way around the circle like this. And I guess I'll draw just a little so you can see what's going on. So I'll go all the way around once, and that's my 2 pi, and then I'm going to go around a little bit more, 1 and 1/6 pi. Now remember, I'll do this in a little bit more so you can see that. 1 pi is already over here, so I'm going to go all the way over here, 1 and 1/6 pi, and then a little bit more, so I end up like that. So this is my 2 pi in green, and then this is my 1 and 1/6 pi. Kind of did an opposite color, sorry about that. Okay. Should have put my 2 pi in orange, because this is my 2 pi. Okay. All right, and then this is the 1 and 1/6 pi. So I'm going to end up over here someplace. But we know this anyway because I can change this 1 and 1/6 pi to what? 7 pi over 6. And remember, we know when we talked about the unit circle, that's going to be over here. So that's going to be equivalent. So we don't even have to name the quadrant. We know about where it's going to be, but this is what we have. Okay? So you just have to think about it. So 65 I can do the same way. I can think of this as being 23 over 5 pi. And 5 goes into 23 4 times, so that's going to be 4 and 3 over 5 pi. That's the same thing. 23/5 is 4 and 3/5. All right? And then I know that all the way around the circle will be 2 pi, so I'm going to subtract 2 of those. 2 pi and 2 pi is 4 pi. That's minus 4 pi, and that's going to go all around the circle, and that's going to leave me with what? 3/5 pi. So that's the equivalent. And that's all they really wanted was an angle. And I know that 3/5 pi is definitely less than 360 because 360 is 2 pi. So 3 pi over 5 would be all you need. Okay? And again, I'm going to go all the way around the circle twice, and then I'll stop after that. Okay, now number 67. This is one where a diagram will really help. Minus pi over 50. What's that going to look like? Well, it's going to be a negative angle, but remember pi radians, we talked about that, that's 57 degrees, 57.3 over 50, so this is just a little bit more than 1 degree, so this is going to be pretty tiny. So hopefully you'll be able to see this here. And that's negative. So this angle is going to be just a little angle like about this. Now that's a negative angle. But we want a positive angle, so we want this angle. This is the angle we want, a positive angle that is coterminal. It's the same thing, has the same ending ray, but it's only going to be a positive angle. So how are we going to do that? Well, we talked about this before. How far is it all the way around? That's 360 degrees, but I'm in radians, so how many radians is that? That's 2 pi. So all the way around the circle is 2 pi. And then I subtract this. This was So all the way around the circle is 2 pi, but if I want to go back, I'll subtract this negative pi over 50, and I should have my angle. Now, how can I subtract these fractions? I have to have a common denominator. What's the common denominator? It's 50. So if I multiply the top and the bottom by 50, this would be 100 pi over 50, right? 50 goes into 100 twice, that's 2 pi, minus 1 pi over 50. So what's 100 minus 1? 99. So it's 99 pi over 50. All right? Now that kind of makes sense, because if this is 99 pi over 50, this whole red angle is going to end up being, this is the 99 pi over 50, pardon me, and this is just the pi over 50. So if I add the 99 pi over 50 to the pi over 50, I get 100 pi over 50, which is 2 pi. Okay? And then this last one over here, 69, this is going to be negative, so it's a little tricky because it's a bigger angle too. So first of all, I'm going to have to change it to a mixed number. So 7 goes into 31, so that's going to be equal, and 7 goes in there 4 times, so that's going to be negative 4 and 3 over 7 pi. Now that means I'm going to go to the left. Try to draw a sketch for you over here. We'll draw a sketch over here so you can see what's going on. And I'm going to subtract 4 pi, because that's going to be 2 revolutions to the left. So minus 4 pi. And that leaves me with negative 3 over 7 pi. Probably maybe write that in green. Right, if I subtract this, I got this. If I subtract 4, that's like adding, so it's a positive 4. Okay. Now, what does this mean? This means I'm going to go to the left 2 revolutions. So that's what this negative 4 pi will be. So there's 1 all the way around there. That's minus 2 pi. This is minus 4 pi. And then I got a little bit more to go, and that's going to be minus 3/7 pi. Now, about where would that be? 3/7 pi. That's less than pi over 2, right? Because 3.5 would be pi over 2. So that's a little less than pi over 2, so that's going to go like this. In other words, 3/7 is less than a half, so that's like almost that. Okay, and I can put this over here. So that's minus 3 over 7 pi. Because pi over 2, that would be 3.5 over 7. Okay, so that's going to be my angle. So I want an angle that's coterminal with that angle. Let me draw it like this. So I want a positive angle. So my positive angle is going to have to go like this. Running out of colors here. So this is the angle I want, the positive angle that's going to go around like this. Now how am I going to get that angle? Well, I can take 2 pi, which is all the way around, and then I can subtract or add the negative 3/7 pi, and that's going to get me back here. So that's what I'm going to have. So I'll say 2 pi minus 3 over 7 pi. So this 2 pi would be all the way around to the very end, and then if I subtract the 3/7 pi, I'm going to go backwards, and this is the angle I end up with, which is the same as going around twice and another negative 3/7 in the negative direction. Okay, and then we just do the same thing. We're going to put this over common denominator. What's my common denominator? It's going to be 7, so I need to multiply the top and the bottom by 7. So I got 14 pi over 7 minus 3 pi over 7, and that's 11. 14 minus 3 is 11 pi all over my common denominator of 7. So that should do it. So again, you have to write these out, noodle these out. I just don't want to see answers. I want to see your work so you can figure it out, because you will have a quiz on some of these. You're going to have to do the same thing. So draw these little sketches to help you, because I can't really give you a formula. You just have to have a good understanding of what's happening. So take a look at these again and make sure they make sense. Okay?